UK prisons are full, but how many people are actually in the prisons anyway? 4,000 offenders get released every single month. I thought 4,000 people every month getting released? How many must there be? Well, let me tell you, I looked it up this morning. There's 87,000 people in the UK prison system. Guess how many, what as a percent of those are men? It is mental. 84,000 of those people in prison are men. So that's like 95% of the prison population is men. And here, let's go through the stats very quickly. 34% of the men in prison are in for violence against other people, right? And 22.5%, this is a shocking one, are for sexual offences, right? So drugs, 12.7%, theft, 9%, robbery, 7%, all other crimes, 14.5%. So guys, 3,000 women are in prison. If you don't want to go to prison, you can reduce your chance of going to prison by 60% by not causing violent offences to other people or sexual offences to other people. Simple solution, guys. And shame on you, by the way. Shame on you for having that sort of level of offence going to prison. You must do better. We as a male population in the UK must do better and hold ourselves accountable for the numbers of people going into prison for these things. We know for a start that alcohol consumption and drugs are a massive issue. And in the UK, we just have a terrible culture, right? You go to Spain, Italy, you're on holiday, everyone's out with their families, they're all having drinks and everything's pleasant, you don't feel threatened. You go in the UK, everybody's binge drinking and they get violent and then they do things they shouldn't do, and women find themselves in positions that they shouldn't be found in, with a guy showing interest in her who's out of control and not able to make appropriate decisions. They let their male testosterone run wild, and then they do things that they shouldn't be doing. So shame on you for that. Self-control, kindness, and taking appropriate action, being responsible for your behaviour, has got to start at schools. It's no good teaching kids history and geography and English literature if you don't teach men how to be good, strong, young men with integrity, self-control, and who don't do things that they shouldn't be doing. It starts at home with the parents teaching the men. I'm going to say the men because they're the biggest problem. They're 95% of the problem. Men, love your children, honour your children, teach them the way to go. Be the father that you maybe didn't have. Be the supportive father that perhaps wasn't there for you. When your kids are in trouble, then guys pull together for the young people of this country. We cannot continue with this binge drinking, drug taking, theft accepting culture that we live in that puts this many men in prison. If it was 50-50 men and women, you might be able to argue, well, hey, you know, guys aren't any worse than women, but it isn't. 5% of women in prison, 95% of men in prison. Who's responsible for that? Are the women responsible for that? We're going to blame the women? Oh, well, it's the mum's fault. Well, the mums aren't in prison, guys. The dads are the ones in prison. So fathers, raise up, embrace your children. Don't, the Bible says, don't exasperate your child. Don't come down on them like a ton of bricks for everything they do. You're not good enough for that. You should have done this. This behaviour is terrible. Embrace them and show them the way that they need to go. All right. Otherwise, they'll just run from you. They'll be like, the safest place is not near my dad. My dad goes mental. My dad comes down on me like a ton of bricks for the tiniest little thing. They need to run to you when things are going wrong. All right. You need to be a safe space. Embrace them. Hey, you screwed up. Let's get through this together. This is your problem. Let's deal with it. Hey, I notice you've got a problem. You're drinking a little bit too much right now. Maybe we should cut back on that. Keeping an eye on their friendship groups. Birds of a feather flock together. If your if your kids' friends are bad uns, then separate from them, put them into sports clubs, boxing clubs, put them in, I don't care what they do, fill their time with sporting activities, fill their time with anything outside of school. Don't be sat watching the telly and letting your kids go off not knowing where they are or what they're doing. Men, this is a message to you this morning. It's up to us to take and embrace the younger population to make sure that these numbers drop. Whatever needs to happen to make that happen, whether it be at schools, in youth clubs, get them in the church, embrace them in the church. Whatever it is we need to do to get these kids back on track, it needs to happen so that the population of the prisons in the UK is not full of men. And this is mental, guys. The figure's getting worse, actually. When you look at it, the drugs figure's gone from 12.7 to like 16%. Theft has gone from 7 to 15, 16%. So that correlation is showing that as drug levels go up, more people are stealing. We know theft is terrible. It's like you see it in the supermarkets, people walking out with shopping baskets full of stolen goods, clearing the shelf of goods, and nobody does anything about it. The police don't care. I remember when I was about 7, I went to run across the road and a policeman clipped me around the ear and told me to walk up the road and go across the pedestrian crossing. Well, guess what I did every time after? He cared that I wasn't going to get knocked over in the road, right? He had morals and values, and he's like, young man, you don't cross here. This is not a safe place. Go up there and just cross over. You'll be fine. Off you go. And I went. That type of policing, I think, would be valuable. Two-tier policing just destroys it. Men are going to rise up and they're going to be like, I don't like two-tier policing. I disagree with it. It seems immoral, seems unfair. I'm going to rise up and I'm going to do something about it. And that isn't what you want. You don't want people avoiding what is the law because they're like, the law isn't honest, the law isn't straight, so I'm going to go out and drink and just break the rules. There has to be fair, it has to be something you can follow, a principle that you can rely on and trust. I'm just saying. Guys, let me know what you think in the chat. If you've made it this far, comment, like, share. Let me know what you think we can do to stop all these young men going into prison. And the government saying the prison population is going to rise to 100,000. Based on this percentage, 95,000 of them will be men. And 60% of those will be serious offences, sexual offences, which should not be happening. 24, 25%. Imagine that. 24, 25% of people out in the town committing sexual offences. That's shameful, right? That is shameful. It should not be happening. 35% of those offences of violence against other people. Take control. Control yourselves, guys. You don't have to throw a punch. You're better to walk away. Where does that lesson of walking away over the actual violence get endorsed? We need to stop that. Let me know what you guys think. Long message, sorry, but bang, it's done. It's important. Take care. Bye-bye.